Hello, my name is Hector, aka Dan, aka DefCon TCG, as you can see right here, and I'm going to tell you guys about my trip over to Bruvland, where I went to play in Euic, and this is my run at the event. I did end up getting top 64 at this event. I barely whiffed, got 34th. It was a clean cut, but I can still be a little bit salty about not getting the extra $1,000. Now, I'm going to talk about my choice of deck, which was Chien. Now, going to the event, I wasn't really vibing with any of the decks in the current metagame. I was a big Giratina guy in last format, and going to the new one, it didn't feel as strong as it did before. And I think I underestimated Tina a little bit, but I was still very confident with my Chien. After doing so well with it at the Chicago Clash, I knew this was the deck that I had to play for this event. So, going into the event, I think it's very similar to the list I played at the Chicago Clash, minus two kind of odd inclusions, right? So we have the addition of the Spiritomb, and we have the addition of Silene. So, going into the event, I talked with the Chien chairman, newly upgraded from his janitor position, Jared Grimes, and he told me that he was thinking about playing Spiritomb for the event, and I thought that was a fantastic idea. Chien takes a pretty weak matchup into control, helps that matchup a lot more, as well as Pidgeot control and Snorlax. It also is a solid card against Charizard, because you can put down Spiritomb, they can't use stuff like Rotom, they can't use Lumineon, so in the games that they have a weak setup, it really helps you just be able to grab a commanding lead. Now, Silene is another interesting card with how broken Prime Catcher is. I will tell you, any game you play Prime Catcher offensively, you probably win the game just because of how insane a switch effect is in Chien and a gust effect. So, since you have two of your Chien, right, you go Chien, Shivery Chin, 2 energy, right? Then you go Prime Catcher, bring up your guy I want to kill, bring up other Chien ability, get 2 more energy. Now you have 4 energy, it's 240 damage. And then if you combine that with a Vessel, that's a lot of damage. It kills everything. 6 energy kills everything in the meta. There's no 5 million HP Pokemon unless you have something with a Hero's Cape, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, so looking at the list, right? Silene is broken because, 1, it's a 50% chance to get any one card you want back. I think the only cards I ever put back on the top of my deck were Prime Catcher, Superior Energy Retrieval, Irida, and I think one time I put Pokestop back on the top against a Lugia because I wanted to bump their Collapse Stadium so I could bench another Pokemon. I think aside from that, I put a Super Rod back once, I think. But yeah, being able to use Prime Catcher is just insane. Like, playing 2 Prime Catcher feels like you're cheating. Like, you're like, okay, I get to play my 1 Ace Spec. I get 1 Ace Spec per game. And then you're like, no, I get 2 Ace Spec per game because I played Silene. It says I get 2 Ace Spec. Very good. So, we're going to go into the list, right? Start off with 3 Chien. I know that a couple of the guys that played the list as well, it was 58 to 57 of the same cards. It was me, regional champion Chris Fontenot, top 8, a couple of regionals, Sawyer Melvin, top 8 on another regional, Travis Beckwith. Me, no top 8s on bad. And we had a couple other of the people on it that we were testing with kind of in the room in the area, so we came up with pretty much the same list. We were very, very close. I think the couple cards difference was like the Silene or the Spiritomb, and then maybe like a 4th Nest Ball. I cut the 4th Nest Ball for the Spiritomb. But we got 3 Chien, best card. You always want to lead it unless you play against Charizard with Max Belt or like maybe Future Box, but a really good card, just being able to hit those numbers where you can just have unlimited damage caps. So that's why, in my opinion, I think Charizard's a good matchup. Then we have Iron Hands. Iron Hands super broken. As long as you don't lead this card, it is like the best card in the deck aside from Chien. Being able to take an extra prize card and stuff is really nice, even especially against Charizard. If they don't put down Manaphy early, you can like Greninja, put 90 on Pidgeot, and then later Prime Catcher Pidgeot and Iron Hands it, and then take 3 prizes, which is super silly. I have a 3 Frigibacks, 2 Baxcalibur, and then 1 Middleback. So Middleback was kind of like the meme throughout the weekend because I was trying to get everyone to play this card. I did not want to lose to Devo TM, which was a very prevalent card. Everyone was playing it in their Charizard decks. We saw it in Control. We saw it in Pidgeot Control. We saw it in Charizard. We saw it in decks that shouldn't even be playing it. I think my friend said he played against a Lugia that played a Devo TM. How you fit the card in Lugia, I don't know. But Arctibax, very solid. Being able to go for the turn 2, if you already have a piece of the Rare Candy Baxcalibur combo, This is just like another thing that you can grab off Irida, which is nice. So you can go, ideally you want your board to be Chien Pao, Friggy, Doof, Ninja turn 1. Maybe one of those things gets subbed out depending on the matchup, or if you prized one. But the nice thing is you can go like Rare Candy backs and then evolve your Friggy to Arctibacks. So then that way, if your opponent does go boss, knock out the Baxcalibur, you are now just an Ultra Ball or an Irida away from getting to a Baxcalibur by evolving an Arctibax. You don't need Rare Candy. Also, Raul's group, which Isaiah Bradner are getting second with the Bayonet tech, they can item lock you, and if they item lock you, you cannot get Baxcalibur, but with middle backs, you get them real good. You evolve in the middle one, and they go, that's not a real card. And you go, I promise it's on my deck list. You can check. And then it is on your deck list, and then you clap them up, right? Then we have a 2-2 Barrel. Really good. I would even consider playing a third Bidoof. There were games where I would prize Bidoof, and I can only get one, and then Barrel gets a boss, and then I have no draw power. So that's really tough. My list has changed from this. I think this list was a good call for this event. I don't think I would play Spiritomb outside of a regional setting unless you know, like, everyone in your locals plays Control. But if everyone in your locals plays Control, don't play this, play Tino. Then we have Manaphy. We have Iron Bundle, Spiritomb, and Ninja. Ninja's Essential. Spiritomb was really good. I'm going to show my matchups in a second. And you'll see how much work this Spiritomb put in throughout the event. We have Iron Bundle, really good, being able to switch out your opponent's active. Also, you can use it in a pinch to attack with it. The refrigerated steam attack does 80 damage, and then if your opponent's Pokemon is an evolution, then they can't attack next turn. So, since I did play the Iono, you can pair with Iono against Charizard, right? If you're able to, smack up their Pidgey, and then they're not able to get another Pidgeot down or a Pidgey, and then you can go, Iono refrigerated steam, and they can buy you a turn. I use it against a Lugia as well when, his only Pokemon were like Lugia, 2 Archeops, and a fish. So he was either forced to attack with Archeops or, give me a 2 prize, or which he ended up giving me a Archeops, was really good. It was named one of the Pokemon, so that was nice. Bonus supporters, 4-Eared Iono, Cypher, Silene. The list that I played before was playing 2 Cypher, but we caught 1 Cypher for Silene. Didn't want to play too many supporters, so our Pokestops are still alive. Items, 4 Superior, 4 Ultra, 4 Poffin, 3 Nest, 3 Candy. I know a lot of people are going to be like, why didn't you play 4 Nest Ball? I probably should have played 4 Nest Ball. I probably would have bricked a little bit less. And, Spiritomb probably won me 2 rounds I shouldn't have won, so the trade inconsistency let me win 2 rounds that I probably shouldn't have. Super Rod, 2 Vessel, Heavy Ball, Prime Catcher. I know some people are also on 1 Vessel. I like drawing that card just because to get to that lightning out of the deck early to be able to discard off Ninja, and then it's just always in the discard pile for later to threaten the Iron Hands. And then it's also a discard outlet, lets you draw off the barrel, which is nice. And then we have 8 Water and 2 Pokestop. I know people were on 3. I think 2 is fine because a lot of the times your Pokestop just stays in play, which Christian pointed that out to me in playtesting. We would playtest a bunch of different matchups, and then it was like, oh, my Pokestop is still in play from turn 2. So it's been here for 3 or 4 turns, and I've gotten max value out of it. So most of the time, your opponent's not going to Lost Vacuum away Pokestop, which is nice. So you'll be able to use that card a lot. All right, so going into the matchups, round 1, I hit an Ancient Box, and this was a prime example of why Silene was good. I was able to win game 1 due to a slow start. I was able to go Greninja plus Iron Hands twice, which is, really, really game-breaking against that deck to be able to even get 1 off, right? So round 1, I'm able to win this one 1-0, and then we go into time game 2, and that ends up being a tie for the second game, so I end up winning the round. But I did force the tie by using a Silene for heads for Prime Catcher to bring up a Roaring Moon that had no energy, and I knew my opponent was out of Energy Acceleration, and they played a Jet Energy, so I figured if they already used the Jet Energy in the second game, so I figured, okay, if they use the Jet Energy, they probably do not have a Switch card in their deck, so they didn't end up doing it. We tied. Silene's broken. Round 2, played against Lugia. I won game 1. Game 2, I Babero into a bunch of energies. I scoop it up. I go, all right, well, I'm going to just save myself some time. You guys know I will scoop at the most minor inconvenience to force that third game. I went first against Lugia. I had Chien Pao plus a Buddy Poppin, so I won. I was able to slap him up. Round 3 and round 4, I had 2 Snorlaxes, right? And this is why, the Spiritomb right here, he's broken, because when I looked at my opponent and I had a Chien Pao in the active and they go, wow, this is a free matchup, I'm about to smack him up. and then I go, all right, buddy, pop and put Spiritomb down. And then he looks at the Rotom in his hand and he cries a little bit on the inside because now their entire draw engine's gone. They play don't draw support. They play like maybe one Iono. So them not being able to use their Rotoms gives you a lot more pressure because usually you'll like be doing 100 damage a turn with Baxcalibur or something, right? So then they're going, okay, well I'm gonna draw 3 cards. Then I'm gonna draw 3 more cards. I'm gonna draw 3 more cards. So they have 15 cards in hand, but now they only have like 4 or 5 cards in hand, so they're living off of the Arven that they're using to maybe get, a catcher plus a tool, and now that tool has to really carry them. It's usually going to be for a Sealstone. That for a Sealstone is going to have to grab something either this turn to prevent him from attacking, or just to do something to play the game the following turn. So it puts a lot of pressure on the opponent to think through their deck. So I was able to win my rounds 3 and 4 against Snorlax 2-0 each, which is huge. It's not very often that you hear Chien beating Snorlax in general, but to be able to 2-0 them is essentially impossible, right? I got very, very fortunate in these games that I was able to go, bench triple Chien, double Baxcalibur, and a Spiritomb. And anytime my opponent wanted to, trap the Spiritomb, I just put Spiritomb back in my hand. And if Chien wanted to attack, Chien gets rid of all the energy, so they don't get trapped. If they bring up Baxcalibur, that means my Bax is 2-shotting Snorlax at least. And if they have Mimikyu in the active, then I'm able to retreat. The Prime Catcher plus Silene comes up a lot against this deck as well, because you're able to Silene out of the active, which is nice, or Silene the Prime Catcher back to get out of the active, which is cool. Round 5 and round 6, I hit back-to-back Charizards, and I'm able to 2-0 both of these. I think I won the die roll both times. Blind, I go first, which is unfortunate because then I make Charizard go second, and their turns are a lot stronger. But since I have the addition of Spiritomb, I see my opponent flip over a Charmander. I slap that Spiritomb down in place of one of the Bidoofs, and now it's a lot harder for my opponent to get set up. So I'm able to win, 8 games in a row, which is sick. I go 8-0 these rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6. Feeling really good at this point. I'm 6-0. Round 7, I hit a Future Box deck. I actually think this match was really good for Chien as well. Game 1, I was bricking a lot, and I wasn't able to mount a really good board, and once I got to the point of no return, I just scooped it up. Game 2, my opponent hits a slower start, and I'm able to just go crazy and smack them up. So I'm able to do that. We have 2 minutes left, and then I'm going first in Ancient Box, and I don't want to get donked, so I asked my opponent for an ID, and they're sure, that's fine. So I'm okay, I think I got away with that one to be able to get that ID in and get an extra point. So I'm 7-0-1. And I go to round 8. I hit a Charizard, and this round was unfortunate for me and my opponents. We get a deck check, and one of his cards were a little bent in the corner, and he got a game loss. And then I also got a game loss because my Iono was bent, and I've been using the same full art Iono the entire season. So, eventually the card is going to be a little bit more warped, and I've been riffle shuffling it for literally who even knows since Paldea came out. It was in my Tina deck, and then I used that same one to put into this deck. And so then, the rest of the Chien deck is relatively new because I was just playing Tina all last season, so I guess that I know was a little more warped than normal. So boom, we both get a game loss, play game 3, I win the roll. I know he's playing Charizard because, we were talking about our deck check. Make him go first, he hits a hand, I lead Spiritomb, so he's not even able to Rotom. And, I went crazy, I ninja'd him and the game was over. So I scoops it up, we go to last round. Round 9, I hit Arctina. Game 1, I'm bricking so bad. I'm upset. I'm dude, I was about to be undefeated day 1. I'm going to run a 7-1-1. All right, whatever. I get smoked game 1. Game 2, I take a really commanding victory. And then game 3, my opponent catchers my barrel, knocks it out, and judges me, but they end up judging me into barrel Irida, so I'm able to, take a knockout and a Tina that's, full HP. I'm able to just blow it up for game. So I end day 1 8-0-1, my best day 1 ever. And oh my god, what is going on? Okay, so 1 second, technical difficulty. Okay, I am back now. Okay, so no more technical difficulties. So round 10, I hit Tord. It's on the stream. It's really bad. Game 1, I prized double Baxcalibur. Game 2, I prized double barrel. It was so bad, my mom texted me after. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess my little sister told her to watch the stream because she was awake, and they watched me get my ass whooped, which was not fun. That's like one of the first times ever my mom's ever been like, wow, that was tough. I've been on the stream a couple times this season, so if she, with no frame of reference card games ever, realized it was rough, then it was quite rough. I wasn't really in the game either game, so oh well, I lose that round. Round 11, I hit a Chien mirror. I think I lose game 1, I win game 2, and then game 3, it basically came down to I needed another turn in time to win the game. I take a knockout, I take a knockout, I draw my prize card. My opponent's looking through my discard pile. Time gets called. He's now turn 1 instead of turn 0 because he didn't draw. So now I only have one more turn, so I can't win the game, unfortunately, because I'm down my prime catcher. And on my next shot, dig for Silene, wasn't able to hit it. So it ends up being a draw. It was a round I probably should have won, which is unfortunate because then I would have gone to 9-1-1, which would have been amazing record to be at. Round 12, I hit Azul. So now in my first 3 rounds of day 2, I hit Ford, Sackett, Brenner, I think is his name, and then Azul. So I hit 3 really good players back to back to back. And I ended up beating Azul 2-0. Game 1 is really close. But Tina's just hits a bad matchup. Chien is really good into Tina. And then game 2, he does the classic Tina attach pass. So I was able to take a knockout there, and or I was able to like establish a lead pretty well, and then he wasn't really able to keep up. So I won that one 2-0. Round 13, I hit Fabrizio. I think he just got top 8 at Orlando. Lead Iron Hands twice against him. Probably like the worst 2 games I had the whole day. That like I was playing the game, but I wasn't really playing the game. And I also like lost the roll. Yeah, I got 2-0. This one wasn't very good. I think I lost in like 10 minutes, so that one was bad. Round 14. Is that right? Did I hit a Charizard round 14? Let me look at my notes. I don't remember losing to a Charizard. Oh, okay, I did. Okay, so this was Cal Connor. So yeah, my day 2 is crazy, right? I hit Fabrizio and then Cal. So Cal's playing Charizard, like the control Charizard, like yeah, quote unquote. So this is the Regieleki in it. And game 1, I win by a comfortable margin. Game 2, my opening hand is like triple superior energy, and I get blind airied for 2 superior, so I scoop. I go to game 3. Game 3, I draw absolutely atrocious. I lead Chien. He's like kind of breaking too, but he's able to like loop the same Arvin with a Regieleki to like establish a board, and I have like 7 water energy in my hand because I like lead Chien. I put down like a Frigibax, and then like I keep like top decking like an awful card, so I have like a 12 card hand, but it's like 12 unplayable cards somehow. I draw like Silene with nothing good in the discard pile. I get like no ball cards, so ooh, excuse me. That was unfortunate. We gentleman's agreement anyway because the winner of that match was guaranteed money. So I was like, you know, bro, you got it. It's cool. Like, I'll win the next one. Round 15, I hit Bibzard. I 2-0'd this guy. It was pretty quick. He was a cool guy. It's just, you know, I think Chien just does really well in his art, especially if they don't have Pidgeot. It's a lot harder for them to like find those resources. So if you just target down Barrel, they can't draw any cards and you can't search any cards. So it's really tough for them to keep their engine going. But go back to the list one more time. And yeah, this was really good. I think if you're gonna play this card or play this deck in a best of 1 setting, you can cut Spiritomb, just play a 4th Nest Ball, and then you can cut Manaphy as well. Manaphy wasn't really that good for me the entire event. I thought it would be better into the mirror, but I think into the mirror, you just have to like win the die roll and not brick. And then if you go second into the mirror, you gotta set up and hope that your opponent doesn't nuts. And Ninja you turn 2. If they Ninja you turn 2, oh well, they're better than you. But yeah, you can cut Manaphy. There's 4 Buddy Pop in this list. I think there's 4 Buddy Pop in this list, 4 Ultra Ball. I would probably just cut Manaphy and Spiritomb, and I would play a 4th Nest Ball. And I've been testing Kyogre. You can play the 4th or the 3rd Pokestop. I wouldn't be mad at playing 4 Rare Candy and Arctibax. I mean, that doesn't sound that bad either. I don't know if there's like another like weird ball card. Maybe Chien just plays the Capturing Aroma. Like, yeah, just throw it as a 1-of in there. You know, it could be funny. But you can see 3rd Rod as well. 3rd Rod is pretty good. Be able to get back your little guys. Reusing Iron Bundle and like Ninja when it gets targeted down. I would even consider a 3rd Bidoof. Like, I think if you cut Spiritomb, Manaphy, and you played 4th Nest, 3rd Doof, like that'd be pretty solid. Just so that way you like prize Even if you prize one, it's like way less impactful to your overall game. So thank you guys for watching. I want to keep this video like relatively short, so it's like to the listen that you guys can go for, and I keep it under 20 something minutes, 25, 50 minutes. Usually my videos are a little bit longer because I talk a lot. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys want more content to come back to the channel, please, show us some love. I think I got the bug back to make videos again, so if you guys could like and share with your friends, that'd be really cool. I like Chien. I'm probably going to be playing Chien for Indy, so if you see me at events, tell Jared Grimes that middle backs is better than boxed orders, please.